showing, you know, you can really see her assets, perhaps. They've never done that before. Here we go. Oh gosh, that's cool. I guess. Is that a Nemesis skin? That's cool. Did I make them make that new one skin? I don't think I did. That wasn't my fault. That wasn't my fault. They did it on their own.
The update show we're going to be bringing you today. It's called Hera's Odyssey: Change and Choices. Joining me on this show,
all right. The Nemesis skin looks cool.
First of all, this is what we've got to look forward
to. The nuance skin.
It's balance and bug fixes as always. Some cool skins, community and esports news, and maybe, just maybe, I'll let you take a little look at Hera. No, I won't. I'm not going to do that. Let's have a look at the skins that we're going to see this week. First of all, it's going to be Battle Worn Achilles. He really is battle tested in that one. Ooh, look at that wound on his chest.
Achilles.
I just saw that. It looks nice and interesting there. We'll get a closer look at him a little bit later on too. But that armor definitely ready to defend. As part of the 300 for that one. Mystic Enchantress Noir is next up. The vials will circle her.
That's so awkward.
And this skin will also be available for us to look at a little bit later on today.
It's kind of like anime.
Following that, we've got Headless Norseman Loki, which we talked about earlier on. Slightly spooky. The head may make you giggle for a second until it knifes you in the back and causes you a lot of problems there too.
It's like a Halloween, so one of their Halloween
rapiers
skins,
as well, or maybe just short daggers. Who knows?
Okay.
We'll find out later.
Fine,
and following that, we also have Pixel Lancer Scardy. My goodness me, that Doge,
That's a cool Doge. Okay.
He's a good boy. We'll take a look at him later on, see how he performs on the battlegrounds. Not just that, though. We've still got two more skins to show you. Oni Chernobog, or Oni Chernobog. I don't know how you say it, but I'll keep trying until I get it right.
There's a
the
lot
mask
of skins in this one.
and the hell is here to play today. Ooh, those tusks.
It's cool. I definitely like the space skin way better for Cherno, but that's
least, this week we're going to have Revenge
This one looks really
Nemesis.
Cool.
I love the look
voice
of this
pack
skin.
Is good, and the sound effects. Because that one looks cool.
Beautiful. That sword is amazing.
That's a sick sword, yeah.
And some of the designs of it, pretty damn slick. We'll get a look at all these skins in more detail later on, like the abilities and the voice packs too. But for now, it's time to join the rest of my guests on the set. Today, it's going to be AJ and Isaiah joining me to start things off today. Guys, how you doing?
Doing pretty good. How about you, Handyman?
I'm not doing too bad, actually.
You're not going to introduce Achilles as well, joining me on the show?
Yeah.
Achilles?
Yeah, he's beautiful.
He is.
He's so cuddly.
Yeah.
First name Achilles, last name Revenant.
Yeah, body pillows.
Yeah, so this is a beautiful piece of art. Shout outs to Nyanase, the artist, a fan artist in Smite. You saw her on the fan art showcase before show started. Sent this to the company, and we love it. It's going to be a prop that we're going to keep in the design cubicles for quite a while.
Do you not think you're cheating on Amateur Rossi by using that?
You know, I've got her. She's still here.
Okay.
I'm just covered in Smite gods.
It would not be an update show without the
And we'll have Achilles here in the design booth. Anytime anyone says mean things about us on Reddit or Twitter, we can always have Achilles to cuddle with.
So the reason we're bringing these guys on to start the day off is going to be to do with a little bit about Project Olympus this week and some of the updates there too. First thing I guess we should talk about is the loadout system. And guys, the fans are going to get what they wished for.
Anyway.
Yeah, this is a big one.
Going to move on right past it.
Ever since we added the random feature, so you can randomize all the cool things you collect in Smite, you don't know which one you'll get in a match. People like to be able to filter out some of the ones they don't like as much, you know?
Yeah, like my voice pack.
Right. So now you don't have to hear Hindu Man anymore if you don't want to.
Someone actually tweeted at me the other day, and I'm like, cool, because I don't like hearing my own voice in the game either. It's a bit weird. It's a bit odd. I'm not that sort of person.
This one was this is a difficult one to implement. It's a lot of UI work. We had to, have ways for you to check and uncheck all these different items in a more complex pool and then randomize through it. So it took us a little while, but we made it there, and we're really happy to ship it. We know,
super cool, I guess.
Big community
Why
ask,
not?
and we're happy to finally get in the game.
So basically, what it'll be is that you guys can
suppose.
then filter out what voice packs and what announcer packs and things you want.
Right. So what you'll see is you'll bring up your loadout. You can normally just check whichever you want. If you check the random button, you'll be able to see which ones are considered favorited or not.
Cool.
And only the ones you favorited will be part of the random.
Gotcha.
Everything else will never show up.
So you can leave it on random, but take away the German one, for example, if you don't speak German.
Sure. Although I think
shout
that
out
one's
to
pretty fun,
Toadsburg.
even if you don't.
That German announcer pack is so good.
It's pretty interesting, but I'm still very confused when he's shouting at me the whole time. But that's German in general. They always just shout. That's what it feels like to me anyway. That's part of the random loadouts anyway. But next up, console Q-Pop redesign. What does this mean?
So, here you go, console
this
boys
is part
and
of our
girls.
ongoing UI updates. You know, we've been making a lot of these to console specifically, but some that work on PC as well. This is a new Q-Pop. So when you are waiting for your match, when your match is ready, that menu that comes up will look different now, and you'll need to move over to accept or decline, so you don't accidentally press anything. Correct.
Right, yeah.
So
we
there's
had
two
a lot
button
of
confirmation.
people that were in a party and somebody accidentally presses B or circle and then declines the queue for everybody, and you got to get back in queue.
Aren't they just stupid people then?
No, this can happen to anyone. This can happen to anyone.
Oh, okay.
Right?
So I just thought we're helping out the
But
stupid
it's
people.
going to look nicer too, which is great. So we're happy to be constantly updating our Smite UI and the experience at all parts of the game.
Well, the last thing on the actual talk about Project Olympus is actually going to be about the God Selection UI for console as well. A bit of an update coming through here as well, Isaiah, in terms of like selection process.
Yeah, that's right. We got a screenshot for you guys, just making it a little bit more cleaner, making things easier to see on that God Select UI, and it also kind of matches
I have no
what
idea
we've
what
done on the home
it
screen
looks like
recently for
beforehand,
console.
so-
Yeah.
So trying to bring everything in line, and this is a part of our ongoing UI updates that we're trying to implement.
More thematically cohesive and easier to see things. So this is more of an art change, whereas the Q-Pop has some functionality. You see a lot of the same functionality here, but you can see updated art.
Okay, cool. Well, that's going to be great for the console players out there as well. And more bug fixes. Fixing the issue where lobby chat or roll calling would sometimes not work in the God Select lobby. There you go. That's gonna help out. That's for console.
There's
obviously.
a lot of bug fixes in this patch, as always. We're not going to go over them all now, but this is
Why?
just a big one.
Why?
Because it takes a long
Too busy
time.
hugging pillows,
It
AJ.
takes a long time. Yeah, I know I talked about Achilles for a minute, but there's a lot of bugs. I can't go through all of them, so we fixed a lot of them. We fixed some other really good ones. Check that out. Commendation points getting increased and some more things like that. But this one was really causing some difficulties for some people, so we're putting in an attempted fix. Of course, there might be some issues still with lobby chat. Please, if you see any more after the patch, talk with us on Twitter. Try to be specific and help me and Isaiah get to the root of the problem. This one was largely, again, community influence to really help us get to, because it was hard to reproduce and pinpoint, actually.
Right.
It had to we had to do a lot of discussing with people on Twitter to kind of learn when it was occurring and why only certain people were getting it.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, moving on then. We're going to move on towards community and esports related things as well. And a couple of little updates for you. As you saw at the start of the show, we showed off a lot of artwork that you guys have been sending in. And Isaiah, coming to you about this. Obviously, we've got a cosplay contest going on. But first of all, Odyssey Celebration, I guess, is the first one we should talk about.
So, this weekend, we are starting a big celebration for the newest event in Smite, Harris Odyssey. We're going to start off this weekend with actually 3 times everything. So, favor worshippers, XP, and fantasy points. This weekend only,
And
as
FP?
a part of, and FP, right? Get that
Okay, that's
FP,
important.
a little bit closer to that demonic Thanatos. But as an ongoing part of the Harris Odyssey celebration, we're actually doing all gods free to play for a limited time through, I believe the date is October 1st. So you've got a long time. If you haven't picked up that god pack yet, you can get a chance to check out some of the new upcoming gods. We've got voice packs 50% off. We've got class chests on sale. So we're really having a big celebration for the Harris Odyssey event in Smite.
We didn't consult me about these discounts, though. Like, that affects my income.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah.
What the
You'll be
heck's
all
going on?
right.
This
You'll
one's
be
for
all
the
right.
people.
I don't know. I'm not so sure about that one. It's getting closer to Christmas. I've got
Are you
presents to
excited
buy
about
for
that?
too, you know?
I don't know.
Well, more celebrations, but on top of that, more of a celebration. We've got a cosplay contest that's going on.
That
We
is
announced
right.
it last time, Isaiah, but tell me a bit more about
I
it.
just
on
want
you guys,
to
there's actually
reiterate,
no
if you
passion
guys
for
have
it.
an awesome high-res cosplay, and you might not have had a chance to kind of like plan your
What
way
is
to
that
HRX,
supposed to be?
we're giving you an opportunity for an all-expenses-paid trip to DreamHack
Honestly,
Atlanta
what
for
is that
HRX.
supposed to
All you
be?
have to do is record your high-res cosplay, post it onto Twitter, make sure to include the hashtag cosplay to HRX, and leave a couple sentences on why you want to make your way to HRX. We'll be picking winners mid-October.
It's supposed to be
Make sure you guys
Josh.
get your cosplay videos up online.
Make sure you get them in there and you can get yourself to Hi-Res Expo. Talking about Hi-Res Expo real quick. I
Oh,
should
is
mention
that a-
tickets
is this
are
not
on
for-
sale
is that
if
a
you want
Paladins
to come to
cosplay?
Hi-Res Expo this year. We're going to be at DreamHack
It's just
Atlanta.
a furry.
Tickets
They
are
just
on
threw a
sale now.
random
16th
furry on
to the
screen.
18th of
Whatever.
November is when the event's going to be. Get your tickets at Hi-Res Expo.com. You're going to see Smite, Paladins, and all the community figures as well. Like AJ and his
I'll be
body
there.
pillow,
I'll
and
be
his
there.
Amaterasu
yeah.
jacket.
I'll be there.
Amaterasu will be there.
Yeah.
I can't wait. This is such a fun event every year. Just a great community coming together and everybody getting real hyped and watching
I'll
the
be
pros
there.
play. It's so fun.
Alright.
Should be some good games too. And obviously, following this broadcast, remember SPL will be happening straight after the patch notes, so stay tuned for that. Here's a little look at the standings so far. Interesting times over in
Is
Europe
that a look at
and
the
North
standings,
America.
or
And
is that not the
today, we'll be
standings at
looking
all?
at Space Station Gaming trying to bounce back.
Doesn't
And
actually
United
seem
as
like a
well,
standing,
trying to
that just
continue
seems
their
like
reign of terror. And just so you
games
guys
that
at
have
home
been
know,
played
let's just see
recently.
that
There
reign
you
of terror.
go.
6-0 United are at the moment. Europe a little bit closer with Dignitas losing yesterday. So make sure you tune in and keep update with that as well. But if you don't know much about esports, this is what happens on Mixer every single week, 5 days a week, Monday through Friday.
Mixer?
We're bringing you
Hindu.
console,
I barely
global
even
series
know
from
her.
international teams, along with the minor league, the future pros of tomorrow. And in the evenings, we got the Pro League play too. And obviously, not forgetting console all on day on Mondays. So that's all you got to look to forward to there. But that's enough from me. I'm bored here already. I don't know why
Me
Echo likes this
too,
bit. I
Hindu.
don't. It's already over.
Me too.
I guess we go to the balances section then and get over with it. Standing by today is going to be F-Dot and Pom-Pom.
Oh.
Hey, it's me. I'm in Hindu's position. Oi, how you doing?
Are you gonna do the whole show in that accent?
Should I?
Do it.
I don't think I should. Hindu is already getting ready to pop me one, so I think I'm going to slow my roll.
Yeah, he's
anyway,
over there not happy.
my name's Tom, otherwise known as F-Dot. We've got Pom-Pom here. We're going to go over some item balances, some god balances, and we're going to start off with the bug fixes, nice and easy. Reconnect issue. There was an issue where players would default into a reconnect issue. I had that one. Now I won't have that anymore. Sweet. We fixed it. Then commendations is actually a bigger deal. Players should now receive more commendation points for longer matches. And as a reminder, commendation points reset every 2 patches.
Yeah, there's an issue where you weren't getting the appropriate amount of points for the amount of time you're in a game.
Okay.
That has not been fixed.
I still don't
as
know
well
what
as just kind of a
commendations
general
actually
reminder. There's
do.
a timer at the bottom.
I've never
but,
actually
the
utilized them
commendation
ever.
system resets essentially every month. So you have a month to grind up those 600 points. At the end of the
So
month,
like an
it'll
EP
reset.
thing?
That coincides roughly with every 2 patches.
Yeah, so it makes a lot of sense. Now I have to be nice the entire match instead of just the beginning. Boy, thanks for making my life a little bit more difficult. Cerberus, paralyzing spit, going to be fixed up just a little bit. Mana cost wasn't really correct, so we fixed that. I don't think I really need to ask you about that.
Yep. Nope. It was wrong, and it's now not wrong.
Yeah, perfect. It's fixed. There's a lot more bug fixes as well, some a little bit less high profile. And for the full list, you can visit smitegame.com and check all that stuff out. But bug fix is gone. Let's get into my favorite part, the balance, baby. So items, that's where we're going to start off first. The first one is going to be Messenger's Mask. We'll get into the masks. So Messenger's Mask decreased the magical power from 30 to 20.
That's good.
Yeah, so the
boom
masks we
buzz
want the tier 2
item.
version of them. They're these kind of unique items that let you trade off stats, and the tier 2 versions of them are meant to be good enough,
Right.
Because you're going to be building into a trade off, so they need to be strong enough that you feel like you're decently powerful as you're building towards that. But they can be a bit too potent, and specifically Messenger's Mask will just give you a bit too much
real
magical power.
strong.
If you wanted to compare it to something like boots, for example, like magical boots, you could get in a situation where like they almost could be justified as better. And so, or like if you just want to one off of, and then you can be roaming around the map with high cooldown. They were just a bit too potent, so we're bringing down the magical power on
That's
that.
good.
Yeah,
Good
we've
nerf.
seen a number of mid laners kind of go for it.
Yeah, and the other big thing is this is 518 balance patch. It has quite a few things on here, but it's a little bit lighter than normal, as well as 519 is planned to be the last balance patch before HRX. We're almost already there, actually. They're going to be playing on 520, so that's the patch that they will be playing on. But 519 is the last balance patch. Make sure they have time to play on it, and then 520 will only include bug fixes.
Right. So there's a method to why we're going this is kind of heavy, like you were saying. A lot of stuff going on in this patch. So we're going to patch everything here. Next time, take a look at it, and then kind of like a final
best
stop.
be
All
patching,
right, we good?
because
Is there
the
anything
meta right now
absolutely
is
crazy that
garbage.
needs to be adjusted?
Come
so
on,
the players
baby.
get a chance to really understand what they're playing on in
Yes.
Worlds. Part of the game is adaptation, but when it comes to the World Championship, we just want to see the best of the best of the best, sir. So we're going to fix that one just like that.
was that,
Messenger's
Scott?
Mask going to be changed up, but so is Berserker's Shield. One of the newer items that came in here, decreasing
item
the
way
attack
too
speed
strong.
from 15 to 10.
That's good.
I like this item. I call it Death's Toll Welcome Back.
Yep.
But it was a little bit too powerful.
Yeah, so there are situations where for a few characters, especially hunters, they could build this, and it was not enough of a trade-off for the amount of like damage they were losing to the amount of sustain they were getting. But it was close for a lot of the characters we were using. We saw Bologna come back in a pretty good way. Osiris come back in a pretty good way.
Okay.
Hunters are a bit using it too
like a
effectively, so we're toning it down on the attack speed.
change to it.
And you'll notice that this is a pretty light touch for what I think a lot of people will look like. But what about Erlang Shen, for example, using this item? Well, spoilers, he'll be adjusted later in the patch. But we were looking at like, how the Warriors kind of use this item. And overall, we're happy with how much it brought to the solo lane in the diversity of bringing back Osiris and Bellona. Just slight touch there to make sure that they're not too strong, but they're pretty close already.
It might be
Messenger's
enough
mask
to
got to
make it
change, so
okay.
Bumbas is going to be in the same spot. We're decreasing the cooldown reduction from 20% to
thank the
10%.
Lord. That's
I
a
mean, the cap
nice
is
nerf.
40. So for Bumbas mask to give you 20, that was kind of front-loaded.
Yeah, well,
That's
the
a
trade-off of that
nice
item is that
change.
you're losing some damage, you're taking some more damage, and really you should be using your movement to position yourself well
Thank
to kind of
the
mitigate
Lord.
that.
Don't get hit.
Don't get hit. But the cooldown part of it was actually really allowing you to utilize a whole bunch of your skills in both more offensive ways and more defensive ways, and it really mitigated what the item trade-off was supposed to be. We're bringing down the cooldown reduction on a little bit to make it more kind of fair to play against, more balanced to play against.
So with the
like
exception
that.
Messenger's
Still a
mask and Bumba's mask, those are the two changes we're going to see. These were really kind of groundbreaking items, very different. Are you guys happy with how they've been applied?
Yeah, we think that the idea of these like trade-off items are pretty exciting. Players can utilize them in super crazy ways, and we saw people start to learn, okay, where can I build these masks? Where can't I build these masks? And it took quite a long time for us to really identify one that was clearly a little bit too high, which is why we're adjusting it down now. But it was a really fun exploration process to watch.
Yeah, because I like to see the out of position characters, if you will, make really good use of them. And then we've seen people take the gamble on the extra damage. So it's been fun. Little bit of a
Don't
change
take the
here and
gamble
there,
on
but
the
I think
extra
we've
damage. Drain
positioned
does
the
not
masses
get
in an
worth it.
interesting
It ain't
spot
worth
now.
it.
Heartseeker going to be getting a
Bad.
shift. First of all, it's back.
Don't do it.
I'm always trepidatious about Heartseeker, but we're seeing him back
Heartseeker.
now. So now Heartseeker, if an instant AoE ability hits multiple targets, it procs on the lowest health target. So the math getting a little bit more intricate.
Yeah, so really when you're using this item, it's probably to burst down the squishy person that you're firing the instant cone ability at. But because it's instant, it hits all those targets simultaneously. And so if you try and calculate on the same server tick, getting a bit more fancy, you can get in situations where it won't actually hit the lowest health target. We're now essentially delaying a server tick so that we can figure out, okay, who is the lowest and apply that to them. And then we're going to go look at other items that apply these kind of effects in like these instant areas that instantly apply simultaneously. Make sure they're all following these rules. And if this tech works out well, we can kind of retroactively apply it to those.
I always go back to new ult in the old Soul Reaver, right?
Yep.
Where it isolated one target, so it's going to work similar to that. Much more different on the tech end, but that's the idea, is to find the lowest health target. Mage's Blessing also getting a change here. We're decreasing the bonus ability damage from 25 to 10, but in exchange, adding 20 magical power, 10 magical power, just straight up. I like this a lot. Yeah, physical power, 20 magical, 10 physical. I like this a lot. I want you to dive deep as to why this change happened.
So Blessings were introduced beginning of Season 5, and they were really there to help players not only understand what their roles are supposed to be, but allow players to flex out of those roles if they did have a deep understanding. And we've seen pretty regularly that all the Blessings are seeing use cases in like that way, but mages almost felt like a trap. For a lot of situations, mages really value the extra power. The Book 2 start is really useful because of the amount of actual power it provides. And this item doesn't really help you scale into the late game nearly as well as those items giving you that raw magical power. So what we're doing is we're decreasing the bonus damage.
How to decide if that's a buff or a nerf.
All your abilities aren't getting like the flat bonus, but we're giving you magical power and physical power. So if you are a high scaling character like mages tend to be, you can use this item and actually be doing more damage and be more competitive with items that were like the Book of 2 start. Especially because it's only 700 gold, you can have a lot more flexibility. Like you can pair that with a Baron Cross and some potions.
Right.
And that should open up some
what,
more doors
tier
for
2
mages to have
book
more
gives you
variety
like what,
stars and not make it feel
65
so much
magical
like
power?
a potential mistake for
So if
starting.
you
that
got that,
Yeah, because you had the CDR, but it was more front-ended into the early game.
Yeah.
So you just didn't. It became problematic to hang on to it. So that change allows Mage's Blessing to last a little bit longer. That's going to wrap up our item changes right now. Let's take a look at the recap real quick. This is one of my favorite graphics, by the way.
Yeah,
I've been
so useful.
I've been waiting so long to come on patch notes and say I like this graphic.
Yeah, it's great.
Nerfs on top,
that's
Zerker Shield too much,
fine.
Bumba's Mask too much, and then a shift. Heartseeker going to make sure to target the lowest health target. Mage's Blessing should last you a little bit longer into the game.
Yep.
So nice changes there for itemization. That brings us to the God changes.
Yep, we have some pretty interesting characters on this. Again, it's targeted towards HRX, so you'll see a lot of the
This,
very highly
I
contested
care more
100%
about
pick ban rate
this
gods here.
god
We're
changes than I do
making sure
about
that the
item
competitive
changes.
scene feels
There
fresh
really
or
aren't any
feels
completely
good.
broken
We don't want to
items
like just
after,
shove
like,
anyone out of the meta, but
Boombas
we want to
was
make sure
kind
that the
of
ones who
silly.
are overperforming right now are just a little bit toned down, so other characters can also make sure they shine.
Yeah, there's a couple of characters right now that are almost always top pick, top ban. One of which is Baron Samedi. He's going to be moved down just a little bit.
There you go.
Wrap it up. Cooldown goes from 12 to 14
Good.
seconds.
So he's a god that tends to see nerfs a lot. Go
Good.
figure.
That's a cheeky little face you got there, Pon Pon.
Yeah, but just a little bit. But I think overall we found a good place for his damage and his utility. He really, his overall damage numbers have come down. Players can play around his combo. They don't feel like they're getting immediately bursted, especially for Barons who are playing the more support role. They don't have that like kind of crazy high damage to really be that threatening if they go support. So I think he's close to a good spot in that regard. But the ability to confirm that damage off, wrap
we
it up,
did talk
was
about
a bit
earlier.
too frequent.
His
You
3
could throw
was
it out, and if it confirmed,
way
you had all
too
your abilities up to
strong.
follow up.
But if
Now
all they
on
do
a
is reduce the
14-second cooldown, it's going to be
cooldown,
harder to. There's going to be more
that's
windows of
still
opportunity to deal with
pretty-
Baron, to die Baron, especially on a miss.
Yeah, and I mean, he's been played in the
Still
support
be
role in the
super
solo lane.
strong.
He's a control mage. He's not going to lose that identity with this,
Yeah.
but it is going to make it a little bit harder, and I think this is the right move. I'm very concerned with identity of characters,
Yeah.
and I think he maintains his control here. Chernabog, Living Nightmare, the
no,
ultimate.
Baron's
Yeah,
so
it's got a little bit
broken.
of everything on it. We're going to take one of those everythings
Here
off.
we
Still getting all the
go.
power and all
Yeah.
the damage reduction, but the passive isn't going to be fully charged.
Yep. So we looked at a few ways to kind
What?
of address this character, and one of the things he really brings is that ultimate, the global presence, the ability to immediately land and have a big impact on the fight. He has a lot of ways to have that impact, and really, we just wanted to look at one of those things that we felt gave him too much impact, and that was his passive. His passive really can ramp up the damage,
Yeah.
and getting it for free versus having to land all the auto attacks to get that proc to happen felt a little bit too much. So we're toning that down. Players should have more opportunity to fight him when he actually lands.
There's a lot of elements on that ultimate, and as far as the extra damage and the mitigation is concerned, you guys didn't touch it. It's
That's
harder to touch
not
those other
what
elements
makes
because he kind
that
of needs it as he teleports to a
OP.
player.
Yeah, that's one of those things that, like, especially like during the playtest and design of the character, it was he kind of needs that ability to actually land and be able to fight a hunter diving in. You have to give them special tools to make sure that
That's
diving in
not
isn't
at
like a trap or
all.
mistake. Especially
Yeah.
even in situations where it's used well, it can quickly become a bad situation.
Related.
So finding those opportunities and finding what the right damage
what
numbers
makes
and
that
mitigation numbers
ability
for that
OP.
were tricky. But we feel like he's in a good spot that way. But the damage he brought was too quick, too immediate.
Yeah, I remember teleporting to Anatoly and then just dying. Nobody wants to die to Anatoly, so mitigation certainly a
that's
good look.
disappointing.
Arlong
No
Shen gave us a
mitigation
little bit
there,
of
no.
a
Yep.
sneak peek earlier, but Bobo, as Hindu Man has lovingly called him, the little doggo, he's getting a change here. It used to be kind
Oh,
of
here we go.
complicated, actually. A portion of Arlong's damage
Yes.
was where the dog would go, plus on hit effect. No more on hit effects, and it's a
Whoa,
straight
ow.
number. It's going to be 2% of the target's max HP. Can I say like Jinsai? Can I say that?
Yeah, it's like chin size.
Okay, sweet.
It's a chin size like
that
effect. We want him to have kind of the identity of
that
this
like
character
a
that can shred
almost
other
buff?
tankier targets. He has the attack speed stim. He can get
that
on
like a
them.
nerf
He can
buff?
control them to land that damage.
Sure.
This helps enable that. And often the on-hit items he was using were either to help him sustain against those bruisery characters or help shred them down. So this helps accomplish that goal. And the big reason for this change is it was kind of
So you
restrictive
won't, like,
in what
double
we could do
proc
with new
things.
interesting items. Having a character that can proc 2 of them, it already had a whole bunch of special rules for the damage of it.
Maybe
We
it's
were
a
looking at
nerf
the Berserker Shield,
early
for example, and
game
like, do you want
buff
another
mid late
exception where
game,
now healing
right?
from on-hit
Like, you
item
don't
effects
double
are reduced by 50%
your
for the dog.
Berserkers or
You also
whatever,
have things
but,
like
like,
Odysseus Bow, which
you
if
get a
got
bit of your build online,
staggered
people
on the
start
hit
getting a
chain,
little
you
bit
get
of
a situation
XP.
where no matter how you auto-attacked, you were doing the Odysseus Bow proc for 50% damage. So you would lose out on a lot of the damage from that item, and there wasn't a clear way to fix that because we made the rule of 15% of any damage, and you'd have to add extra rules and extra rules. And so rather than adding consistent more rules that cause confusing interactions, we've cleaned up the interaction, simplified it, gave it a very clear and defined purpose, and that also makes sure that we can explore really interesting item passives in the future.
Keep it simple. I like it. Much better change in my opinion.
That's kind of a weird
It's,
change.
A little bit
That's-
easier to digest, especially.
That's
for
a
newer
nerf
players.
buff.
Freya.
That's a weird
Visual
change.
changes.
He's got
So
to
it's gonna
stack
be easier
well
to
with
kind of fight
pins
against
now.
her thanks to
Holy.
some
Wow.
changed visual effects.
Yep, we had our FX team look at the abilities. We had worked with what we had for Freya back at the time, and we felt like they were visually conveying enough. But especially through multiple playtests and people are fighting, the visual effects were not clear enough. And so now she has whole new particles for when her 1 is active and when her 2 is
that's
active.
what
So
was.
you can see that like kind of shine on the weapon. It signifies, hey, this is
God,
the ranged version.
I'm
You're
an
gonna pulse out
idiot.
the
I'm
kind
I thought it was her
cool
damage that
completely
was
new effect
broken.
for that.
I
And then if you activate the 1,
now that I think
look at
about
that
it,
ring that shows that you
as
have
long
a
as
very
I
powerful
know
proc
I'm
that's
about to
happen.
die,
Yeah,
then
so
I
Aura
can
Blade
F6
can be
before she ever
showing-
hits me
there
with
it
her
is. Now she's got
abilities.
both.
Oh
And what I
my
like
god,
about
I'm an
the
idiot.
first one, the
Good
second ability
God.
for
Thank the
Northern
Lord.
Lights, it makes the weapon
You're right.
bigger. A lot of
You're
times,
right.
if you just make something glow, like, yeah, I can't even see it. Cool. Awesome when I'm this zoomed in. But
Yep.
you're going to see that giant sword from a distance. And, well, if you're that close to Freya anyway, you're probably dead.
Yep. And what's also really cool about this is we also updated skins too. So skins will have their own version of this as well. So if we can switch class to Freya, I think like Northern Lights.
Perfect.
Yeah. That one will have completely.
Now I can
Northern
watch
Lights is
myself
the recolor.
So Northern Lights with
We
the
need
Northern Lights
Frost Queen?
effects change.
Frost Queen, is that the name?
Frost Queen with the
Yeah. There we go.
there you go.
Frost Maiden. That's the name.
Yeah, Frostbite. Northern Lights has always been my favorite. I go all the way back to
So there's new effects on that. It shines. You see the outer
Oh,
ring
wow,
glow, and then if you activate the 1, you're gonna see the ring around you as well. That's themed to that skin.
yeah, that's pretty sweet actually. Really
Yep.
cool to see you guys kind of go back in time.
Maybe
I mean,
they're also
Frost
nerfing.
Maiden
Maybe
is
they're
what,
also gonna nerf her.
2014?
Yeah.
Maybe
It
this
was
is
like one of the first
maybe this
skins
is
that
the
came
meme
out,
before the
after,
also
like,
you know
Freya's
she's
release,
doing
and then
less
that skin
damage.
came out pretty quickly afterwards.
Yeah,
Could
she's
be,
got that
could
Paul
be.
Wall grill
It could be
too, so
memeing us.
interesting to see you guys go all the way back to the
Yep.
classic skins and making the changes. Always appreciate that as a longtime player.
Yep, visual clarity.
Ganesh gonna get
No,
some
never mind.
changes
The company
as well
itself
here.
is
Dark
actually a
Pillars.
meme.
So it's gonna deal initial damage on the first
entire
hit,
company is a
and that's
meme.
gonna be an
That's
interesting
okay.
look. More damage here.
Yeah, so it'll be more damage on the ultimate
Shout-outs to Realm
for
Royale.
the initial hit that when you cross over the threshold,
Right.
and a little bit less on each subsequent hit. And the main idea there is the theme of the ability is you have these walls that come up and these thresholds that if you cross, you're going to take big damage.
Now deals.
But often the best case scenario
Wait,
for
they
them
just
was
buffed the
trap them on
crap
that
out of
wall
Ganesh?
and
Oh,
have
wait,
that damage happen.
what?
That's how it really ramped up. And we really
Decreased
want the decision of
damage
do
to-
I stay in this box or do I try and get out of this box to be the most meaningful one? And add a little bit more weight to that decision. So we're bringing down the damage that if you get someone stuck on there that was really good on you, you should be rewarded for it. You'll get the damage in the
They
shred
brought
will-
it down by
will really
5,
hurt them,
though.
but that initial decision
That's
for
a
the player to
huge
make
buff.
is a bit more meaningful, a bit more impactful.
60%
So,
bonus
should I
damage
stay-
on the
should I-
first one that
Yeah.
hits
Question
you.
Trying to answer.
Exactly.
That's a
Yeah, so
big
that's
damage
Ganesh.
buff.
Interesting change there. A shift, like you said, not necessarily
Yes.
a nerf or a buff, just
No,
to sort of offset
necessarily
the
a
damage.
buff.
So it punishes players for walking through it on the first shot.
Absolutely
Nemesis is
necessarily
going to
a
get a
buff.
buff here.
F-dot.
Retribution, that's the
God, he
shield.
never
We're
knows
going to
what he's
increase the
talking
healing
about.
on this one. Kind of a
He never
bonus
knows
for
what he's talking
using it
about.
in the right spot. And
Yep.
I'm always, I like counter effects, so I really like this change.
Yeah, so there's two things for this one specifically.
Okay.
One is it was kind of weird
Shield
that it
healing
double
from
scaled the way it
6
did.
yeah.
You not only had a base amount of health for the shield, but you also had a percentage of the healing being amplified as well. So the first one started like 100 and
Wow,
made 60%, and then
nice.
it went to like 500 at 100%. And so the difference in amount of healing was huge between the ranks, much more than just 100 to 500. So we evened that out a bit. But we also looked at Nemesis, and we've gone kind of the dance with her of balancing of,
I
okay, well,
like
let's give her
that
some
right
damage
now.
here.
I
Let's
think
give her
she's
some
pretty
ability
good.
to shred here. And they often
So-
always turn into frustration, giving her more damage when she has the ability to catch up, when she has the ability to slow, when she has the ultimate that's a really good shred effect.
Okay.
It just caused her to feel frustrating to fight against, where this pushes her more of her survivability, her ability to get into the fight and stay in a fight. Almost a little bit Warrior-esque, which she used to be way back in the day.
Yeah.
But we feel like this is a safer direction to move her to help bring her back, because after the last round of nerfs, she's kind of fallen
Right.
off.
I
this
think
will help bring her back, but in hopefully a way
already
that
think
isn't so
Nemesis a good
frustrating.
spot, so I
Yeah,
can
mean,
bring
she
her
was
back
always
hard.
supposed to be this character that could stay in the
I can bring
fight
her
for an
back
extended period of
hard.
time. You look at the passive, which requires you to stick to a target
Yep.
for a long time, and then she
So-
gradually creeped into a burst damage character.
Yep.
She's still going to burst you, but this is a nice change to bring back that sort of consistent, or I don't want to say
Especially in her
consistent
early
fighter
game.
in
Yes.
the middle of a team fight. Careful with the verbiage.
Yeah, I know. It just, she has an interesting history.
Warrior Nemesis is still close to my heart. I'm just putting that out there. PELE getting some changes, getting a lot of changes, actually.
Good.
So Pyroclast, first and
Good.
foremost, that's going to be
Good.
increased from 13 to 14 seconds. Just
Okay.
going to make sure that you can't spam that as often. Eruption, that's the 2.
Uh-huh.
So the decreasing the inner damage as well as decreasing the outer damage, just lowering the overall damage
Yep.
output of that second ability in general.
good.
I want to talk about these two before we move on to Volcanic Lightning.
Yeah, so the big thing here was the how often she could engage with Pyroclast, how often she could use Eruption to have great impact, especially kind of earlier
So
on.
20 damage
we
is
just
a
wanted to bring
decent
that more
change,
into line
especially in
so
the
that
early
her
game. 20
overall,
damage is a lot.
Like kind of curve is
Late
a bit more
game,
consistent.
not so much, but you know,
and
in
it
the
really
early
does
game,
pair
that's a
with the
decent
ultimate in the
change.
sense that the ultimate change that we're making is going to allow the ultimate to be much more impactful,
But
also
it was
a bit
only
more
5
consistent how you
damage
expect it to
on
function. And with that additional
inner
power comes a
damage,
need
which is
to bring that to other parts of the kit
nothing,
to make
I
sure that
guess.
she doesn't skyrocket out of control.
So we lowered some of the damage on the other spots, and that's because of the change for the ultimate. So Volcanic Lightning, the ability damage from cone attacks now proc off of basic attacks.
Yes.
Which is, it seems like a small change, but the implications are large.
Yeah, so before what it was technically, even though you were like punching with your fist, you were punching with an ability, and that has very specific rules for Smite. So now it's going to be working off a basic attack, which lets it proc item effects. It'll let it be affected by like, disarm, for example. That will matter now, and so it will do quite a bit more. Even though there are a few more counterplay options available, block stacks will now interact with this properly. And this is something that people were like, wait, why is this not working the way I expect this to work? Because, well, it was being treated as an ability, now it's being treated as a basic attack.
Wait.
And so with that additional power, we need to look at the other parts of her kit.
Yeah,
so
whoa,
in the sake of making
whoa.
this ability function the way that players kind of expect
that
it
means
to,
that
because it
ability
looks
can
like you're
crit.
doing a basic attack.
That means that ability will
we had
proc
to make some concessions elsewhere
Golden
to make sure
Blade.
that she was overall balanced.
Whoa. Weird things like Odysseus bow procs. You're going to get lifesteal as well from it.
Yes.
But you will
No.
Whoa.
Yes.
And things like that.
Whoa, we're supposed to be nerfing her.
Pull here for
No.
overall, and then an additional decrease of the damage.
That's not a push-pull.
Yes.
I think that's a good move. PELE has been very dominant.
Yeah, she's impactful. We've been watching her closely. She actually does pretty well for herself. She's not crazy high. She's not like super low. She's doing.
That's not a push-pull.
Yeah, she's easy to collapse on. So if you got good teamwork, that's how you're going to take care of PELE.
1
so
second
his tail whip
cooldown
changed
on-
just a little bit from 12 seconds to 14. Just making sure he can't spam too much.
Yeah, this is a SPL level change because he's. What is it, first or second? He's either the first or second
That's
most picked
embarrassing.
SPL character.
Yeah, he's #1. I mean, Aggro and I broke down the base damage values at level 20.
Okay.
Charge Prey, Tail Whip, Sickening Strike.
Okay.
You're doing 730 something damage. Now you won't have that combo up as. By the way, that's full tank.
Yes.
Without skill. So now you're going to have access to that full combo a little bit less often. 12 to 14 seconds, like
We're
you
nerfing
mentioned.
Sobek?
This is more of a high-end change. Lower-end players
ain't
might
seen a
kind of feel a difference,
Sobek.
but it's really going to impact the pro players.
Yeah, especially in that solo lane, because I think what Sobek really shines at is he's this very
Ever.
strong counter pickup to a lot of situations. And while we like him being the strong
I
counter pickup,
forgot he was in the game.
Too much in
To
his
be
favor
honest.
when he is picked.
Right.
And
Thank
that largely
God
comes
we're
from the fact that
buffing
he
PELE
has so
to
much
nerf
disruption from
Sobek.
Tail Whip. Increasing that cooldown is going to give, especially other laners in the solo lane, more opportunity to really have trades with him that are meaningful versus him just kind of tail whipping and then leaving and then coming back and tail whipping 12 seconds later. You have more of a window.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you asked
so
you,
the
you,
lane
you
phase
asked
should be
me
a little
some
bit
pro
more
players
easy to
about
digest
if they
versus
want a
Sobek, 'cause
Sobek
I've tried
tail
it.
whip
I'm not very
nerf
good,
or if
but
they
I
want
get
PELE
even worse.
ulti to be able to crit.
Thor.
You ask
buff.
him real
Tectonic
quick.
Rift
They have
at
to
the
choose.
bottom level will now stun for 1 full second. Now,
buffing.
this is a big deal. From 0.8 to 1 second.
Oh,
seems
that's
like not a big deal, but
huge
as
for
an
your
ex-professional
hammer.
jungler, I remember the denial
Yes.
days. As an ex-professional
That's
jungler, Pom Pom can tell
huge.
you that
You need 2
there's a
points
part of
for
the
your
Thor combo,
hammer.
the double tap off of the stun.
Oh,
you used to have to
that's
put
a
2
big
points into this ability to
change.
guarantee it. It gets very complicated, and onboarding experience is kind of whack. So now
Yes.
with the change here, you're always going to be guaranteed that combo.
Yeah, so when you
Yikes.
actually stun a minute tip range,
I already
your stun
play
tip
a
range,
lot
you're
of
going to
Thor.
get that double
That's a
tap.
big
And
Thor
the 1
buff.
second is just enough to
That
confirm
lets you
that
put those
now.
points into,
so
like,
rather
spin
than
to
having
win
to
and
have
stuff.
that like extra knowledge of I need to get a second point in this,
Which
which
is
feels a
nice.
bit counterintuitive. It feels like, well, I've done the hard thing, which was at max range, I tipped them and I threw the thing as fast as I could, and then missing just felt weird. So we're allowing that to hit, and then
Wow.
as you get more ranks, that combo timer becomes more lenient. If they're closer and they have to get the return distance, they'll be stunned long enough for that on the higher ranks. But the starting rank, you'll be able to just put 1 point in that and then focus either on Mjolnir's attunement or the spin to win.
Yeah, it works because we've seen Thor played in a couple of different positions as well. And if I want to be an assassin, I want to put my damage. I want to put my points into my damage, not my stun. You
Yeah.
used to have to kind of put points into your stun.
Yeah.
Now, if you're being solo or support Thor, don't do that. You can focus on your stun.
Support
whereas if you're
Thor?
damaging.
What an
you can
idea,
focus on the
Dot.
damage, just
I'll be
as
right
Thor
back.
should. So as a God Balance recap, we've seen a number of changes here, a number of shifts. Nemesis and
Can't
Thor
believe
getting the big
we
old
didn't
thumbs
nerf
up.
Freya.
Baron Samedi, Chernobog, and Sobek. Wow, it looks like a Pro League ban phase.
Yeah.
Those 3 gods are going to be adjusted. Arlong Shen, Freya, and PELE, also very popular in the Pro League,
Yep.
going to be shifted. And Ganesh will be shifted as well.
Yep. 518 HRX, 519 more HRX stuff, smaller
Nice
patch, and then 520 is
shifts.
exclusively bug fixes. We're focusing on the Pro League for a bit for the next coming patches, really to make sure that it's in a good state for HRX. And then after that, we'll return. We have a lot of other content that'll be coming out over those patches.
Looks
and
like
after
somebody's
520,
saying
so
they
stay tuned for
shifted
it,
the
but
amount of money
the
that you had by
balance patch
taking
is coming
away
up, will be more
$5
focused
and then
towards the
giving
Pro
you $100.
I'm super
Your
excited.
money
I'm
was
really amped up. That's
shifted.
certainly,
You're like, I ended up with an
HRX
extra
looming around the corner.
$95.
Hindu told you before, HRX, you want to get tickets, you're going to be there November 16th through the 18th. That's going to do it for us as far as the changes in balance are concerned. Now we'll get down to the artistic side, the skins, Hindu's favorite part. So why don't we go talk to him and break down the skins?
It is. It's skin time with me and some of my lovely guests on the set. We're going to be joined by AJ, Clumsy, and a new guest today, Miss Cupcake, Mrs. Cupcake. Mrs. Cupcake. And you're part of the community team, is that right? You're the newest member to
This
join the
pillow
team.
has got to
I'm
go.
the community manager for Smite.
Welcome.
This
What's
is
your Twitter
getting
account so they
weirder.
can all spam you?
At Titan Cupcake _.
Cool. And you specialize in
Look at
bug
look at this
reports
thing. That's
and
acceptable.
issues with
Look
the
at
game,
that
right?
cute
Right?
little
Right?
thing.
Yeah, I think she fixed
Don't
it.
hit her up with that.
Acceptable.
I'm just throwing in
All things community
That
related. If you've got a
thing.
question, feel free.
all things community related. And
Not
now, then,
acceptable.
let's get on with the skins. Now, my guess, I did talk about Hera earlier. Should we show them something to do with it?
We very much want to show more about Hera. So Hera is launching in 519.
Not today. But Cupcake told me off
Not
for saying
today.
earlier that we may do it and then say no. But so we now have to do it.
Right.
Here's a little look at Hera then. Talk to me a little bit about her, AJ.
we get
So
to, like,
Hera
see
is
her?
accompanied by her ally Argus.
This thing.
Yo,
This
look at
is
that.
Argus. We
This
wanted to go ahead and show off more
beast.
about him. He's
I
big.
love how he glows.
He's scary. He's gonna beat you up.
Okay.
And Hera's gonna be there
He's
too.
literally
He's got
Jack
so many
Janus,
faces
dude.
and eyes.
He
He's
can see in all
Schwarzenegger
directions.
Janus.
Well, at least
He's
four at
beautiful.
once, at least,
Well, that's helpful.
and straight
He
up
is
apparently.
huge.
But yeah, Argus, the many-eyed giant from mythology, we're reinterpreting for Hera.
He's
He's
been
going to be
Vulcan.
fighting alongside her as a major part of her kit, and we're showing things bit by bit for Hera.
Okay.
We showed off Hera's art, so we had the really cool video that was awesome, that animation, right? And now you got a little bit of Argus there, and now we want to show what he was really going to look like in game. So the blog posts written up by the designers with more information about her kit and her design. Those will be coming soon before her official reveal next patch.
Okay, we'll stay tuned for next patch then to actually have a little look at her and see how she's going to get on and see what kind of kit she's got. Obviously, Argus is involved somewhere, so look forward to that. On to the skins then. And the first one I'm going to talk about is Battle Worn Achilles. We saw this in the card art. I love the card art just because it looks like he's battle worn.
This has got to be like a tier 2.
He's got
This is
moves.
like a tier 2, right?
Yeah.
Color or something.
It was a good name.
Gotta
With the
be.
green armor and things.
Oh my
as
gosh,
well.
I love that spear.
Let's have a look at it in game as well.
It's a bit of a reinterpretation of him. A lot of people thought the helmet. A lot of people expected a helmet.
I did too, to be fair.
Which is good, but we wanted to give him a really interesting character as far, kind of this star of the show with the launch. So
But I think you missed something because I think if you put a helmet on him to begin with, right, then every single time you make a skin that doesn't have a helmet, you can
Right.
redesign his face.
Sure.
I mean,
Not quite, but
No, okay.
it's good to have that
That's why I don't do
face tech
design.
there from the god
skin's ugly.
process.
It
and
looks
not
like a
add it as
minion.
skin. It's
I
easier to
know.
do it the other way. So
I'm
yeah,
memeing.
but it's cool.
It
to
looks
be able
like
to
a
give him
minion,
different
right?
kind of helmet
Yeah.
interpretations.
It's not just
his
me. The
beautiful
skin,
crown
the
and
skin
his
looks
revenant
like you're
skin,
just
like
a
my
big
pillow
minion
showcases.
walking
I was
around.
gonna ask, are you gonna have to get another body pillow now, but with the skin?
I mean, the artist is probably quickly working on one already.
Oh wait, we're not killing Odins today.
We're killing barons.
Well, we're
This
not
is
killing
the
bears,
best day ever.
but they're all immune. They're not dying good.
Just like Baron IRL, right?
How can there be 3 life of the parties at the same time? That's just not possible.
So I believe this skin is going to be the reward for participating in the Odyssey.
Oh really?
Yes.
For just participating. Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so as you do your quests and get your Odyssey things, you'll be able to unlock this.
Nice.
So we don't always say how we're distributing skins in different ways on the Patch Notes show, but
Sick
I think this
reward.
one, as far as being a cool reward, is worth highlighting in that
Yeah.
way.
This,
Awesome. Let's
This is
see
what we
I need to
call
go for next first of all, I
free
guess.
skin,
Pom-pom's
folks.
busy.
That's what we call this.
We've got to actually kill a baron. Since,
Go this way. Free skin.
happen. So
There we go.
Oh, there we go.
that's what it looks like. Oh.
And I think I saw he actually does have wounds on his.
Yeah, I was noticing
That's-
that. Because
I love
Sean
that.
zoomed in right
Yeah.
real close.
Yeah.
His
There we go.
unarmored form has a lot of nice
Look at that.
details.
He's
yeah.
actually battle worn.
Some scarred up, and
Bruised up too. Well, let's have a little
he has a
listen in.
beard too, right?
Does he?
Sorry.
I see the helmet.
You have to get close enough to tell him to see, but
Papa's
here we
like,
go.
for goodness
Pons,
sake,
you got to
every
face the
time.
sun, Pon. Yeah, he
it's
does.
blonde.
So he's a
He's got
little
a
older.
blonde
Maybe
over it.
he's
Yeah.
he's had his high school days are over, and now he's been out battling.
Well, let's have a listen into the voice pack then and see exactly how this sounds.
Bizarre. Phenomenal. I rule over all.
So much quieter
Good.
than their voice.
Just good. Attack left lane. Attack right lane. Defend. Defend middle lane. I will carve out your heart with my fist. With my fist! I do not need worshippers. You will all bend to my will. It's not a phase, fool. This is who I really am.
Awesome voice pack to go with the skin. Moving on to the next one. It's going to be Mystic Enchantress Noir.
Yes, this to go along with the line of other mystic characters skins we've been
we're
doing
showcasing
recently.
Yeah,
three
Nitha and
colors now.
Athena, right?
Yes.
Right.
So we
Yeah.
have like the perfect joust combo now. We could just like go down the lane.
You're a joust main. You know what the community thinks about joust mains, don't you, AJ?
Yes,
This is like-
they make
More, right?
What's
fantastic
your
leaders
face?
and designers, is what I know about joust mains.
What
So
are the
here.
anime
Oh,
ladies?
that is
Not the
sweet.
Here's
Powerpuff
a little
Girls,
look at that.
but like the
I like
ones
that.
with
You
like
really
the
like that.
rings and
Oh my
stuff.
goodness,
First of
this
all.
is so beautiful.
That's
I
always a
really-
weird thing
Sailor
to try and do,
Moon.
but it looks
It's
really
a
good.
Sailor
I
Moon
wanna see
nuance
someone
skin.
cosplay this.
Someone
Yeah.
cosplay this? Is that your
so
request?
100%.
Yes, can somebody cosplay this, please?
100%.
At
Only-
HRX? Oh my gosh, and you can put it for the contest.
Yes,
That's
but
what it
only
is.
if you can get the vials to do that.
Right.
If you can make the vials dance around or the potion bottles, is that what they're supposed to be? Vials, potions?
Well,
I
it's
guess?
just saying they're
Whatever.
finally
Yeah,
giving
she's
new
an
Wise skin
enchantress,
because
so
she
they're
only
her
has like
enchanting
27 of
materials.
them. So I was worried.
Genius. That works. We'll take it. We get to be on some more
I
Baron
was
City.
worried
And
they'd
the art team
accidentally
did a
give
really
somebody
awesome
like
job with the
Conquest skin.
materials, the textures on her outfit. I love how there's like a little bit of a cosmic feel there.
Yeah.
Pretty one.
These spell effects are really nice too.
I see those clay
The
minions.
stealth.
Their clay minions are always important.
Yes.
Ooh.
They got some rainbow dashes, some rainbow effects.
Oh, yeah.
Looks like regular clay minions.
And the
Shining
explosions.
metal.
Okay.
And now we got to see the LT though.
Why? Is there something special with the LT? That
I
amazing?
just,
Oh, sometimes,
how
sometimes
pretty it is.
you guys in the set bait me into things where I'm like, oh, I'm excited. I'm like, what
the
am I gonna see?
wings.
Oh wow.
That is cool.
Well, that actually makes sense about how she gets to the sky now. She's got wings.
Oh, and she killed that Baron that's not immune.
Yeah, get wrecked.
That looks fantastic.
Nice sounding, too.
Definitely.
Okay, let's
That's beautiful.
Does nothing
listen
for
to
me
the voice pack
personally.
for this. I believe the name is Xanthe Hood. Who
Too
did the voice for
anime
this?
for you, boy.
My pronunciations are not the best on names.
Doesn't interest me.
I know the
Xanthi
last name
Huynh?
is Huynh.
Yeah,
Quinn.
Xanthi
Xanthe Win?
Yeah, sounds right.
Attack middle lane.
Not
Okay,
enough
I will.
unit.
Attack right lane.
No.
Defend.
Okay.
Shush, please. Shush, please. Shush, please.
All right, you
Remember when I
I'll
said
wait
it
till you
was too
stop
anime
speaking.
for your boy?
Yay!
It just
Love it.
skyrocketed
Love being a team
through
player.
ultra
Your defeat is written
top,
in the stars.
way too anime
Bad guys
for
never
me.
win.
It really
green
launched
like a pickle,
itself out of a
some kind of a
catapult
big deal.
past that point. Holy.
jokes.
Tina may not be here, but
And
she's definitely
here.
with us in spirit.
Sure is.
This voice pack is too peppy for me. That's what I'm finding right now. It's too
just-
excitable and
Just
happy.
scowling the
Well,
entire
don't
time.
worry. There's plenty of edgy skins for you still.
That's right. I'm all about the edgy.
Let's not call
Gotta have
attention
something for
to
everyone.
Well, there's a little listen to the voice pack for the Noir Enchantress skin that will be available in the next patch. Moving on, it's time for the Headless Norseman. I see what they did there. Headless Norseman Loki.
Get it? Because like Headless
My,
Norseman.
my only notes is
He's the
it's
Norse god.
super spooky.
Super spooky.
Yeah, that is actually on our notes.
So
Super
this is
spooky.
this is just our first Halloween skins. I know I saw a lot of people asking about the community contest.
Oh, there's more than one?
We have next patch. We have more Halloween skins featuring the winner. I believe it's next patch is the winner of the Halloween community contest.
Okay.
And then we'll be seeing the winter ones eventually too. This is just the first one. So no, this isn't taking the thunder from anyone. The winner's just coming soon.
Everyone was panicking about it, but instead you just get a bonus Loki pumpkin-headed Norseman.
And we call him headless. And there's isn't there something special about that?
Oh yes.
Are you leaking things? Welcome to the
Oh,
show.
Oh my
Good
god! Look at
job.
that! Look at the decoy. So
What
his
was that?
head can separate.
There
oh,
we
there
go.
he goes. That's his special emote for this
Pretty
skin.
good.
Right, it's
Pretty
big.
good.
Wait,
It's pretty good special email.
He
I'll
takes
give it
his head
that.
off and runs around.
I
in a
respect
strange
that
way.
as a
That is
special
so
emote.
fun.
Can you use
Okay.
abilities while that's happening?
No. When
If you
use
can
an ability-
stealth and do that,
Look at his
that's just
hand.
like...
you might be able to stealth
Can
and
you
then
stealth and do it?
activate it.
Oh, you got it!
Man,
That's all that
pretty
matters.
good. That's
So when you
good.
actually pop out of stealth, your
That's
head's
good.
just next to
Yeah,
you.
exactly. You don't even hit the guy, right? You just
If you
do
use
that.
any, if you
Just
I like
scare
it. I
him.
like it.
Scare him to
design,
death.
any attacks or abilities will
Okay.
remove you from your special emote stand.
Of course. But technically, while in stealth, you're not attacking
Not
if
that
you're
low
using it.
That's true.
You know,
And you can see even during his
department, but that's
attack
cool.
animations and
Oh,
ability
that's
animations, the
fun.
head separates and floats around a bit more.
Yeah, it's not like it's attached to
That
his
stealth
body.
attack.
Still
yeah,
going to
it
use
really
different Loki
pops
skins because
out.
there's better Loki
I love the way
skins,
his
but
head
you
just
know,
bounces off. Oh, the
Halloween.
pumpkin, it's not really a head, is
I
it?
guess.
It's Pumpkinhead.
Yeah.
He needed a replacement, right?
And I'm definitely
ultimate
not a rank 10 Loki. That would be terrible.
Oh,
I like the voice back already.
Yes,
I
yeah,
like
me too.
just those lines. Just go with it.
Got
Yep,
him.
that happens in my games all the time. Look, isn't it? Okay, then listen to the voice pack. I'll shut up this time. I
Look,
promise.
just
Maybe not.
cancel that.
Thanks! Attack middle lane!
Wow, that was loud.
Attack right lane! Defend the Titan! Menacing! It's simple. I'm the best. You're skilled, aye?
Aye.
Oh, did I give you a spook? I'll carve you a prettier face. It's almost as if they've never seen a
All right.
pumpkin head before. I mean, I'm headless, not ugly.
Ooh, that laugh.
Sounds like a discarding, right?
I really love that.
Why
voice
does it
back.
get
That
so
is
loud
very
out of
well
nowhere?
done.
That voice
laugh
actor
is
did an
strong.
amazing
Actor
job.
did a
It
great
really
job.
just
Jason Marnocha? Is
Yeah,
that
that's
who you're
right.
speaking
Yeah.
of?
Jason Marmot. That's right. You did a fantastic job. That actually,
Okay.
that's awesome. That's
So a
really
few
awesome.
down, 3 more to go. Next
think it's
up
fine.
is one that I like the look of on the card art. Pixel Lancer Scotty.
This could be
Oh my
cool.
goodness.
This could be a cool skin.
This looks great.
This one has.
Like
This one
already
has.
just
I have
seeing
high
that
hopes.
little
High hopes.
artwork and what we saw in the game
Yeah, we saw
earlier
the
on.
little preview earlier.
This looks great. I always care about what Calder is going to look like.
the Robo
and,
Dog is so well done.
The question is he a good boy?
he's a good bot.
He's,
He's a good bot.
He's a good boy. Oh, God.
You're welcome. I wonder if Tina put that in the voice pack
Ooh.
jokes.
He's better than all my other teammates then.
I
He's
wish
a
I
good
had-
bot.
I wish I
He's
had the
a thick
time to write
puppo, too.
more jokes.
Thick puppo.
I love the outfit. It's got like the pixels going up and changing. It's beautiful.
It's got a definitely Tron feel to it, that's for sure.
Yeah, you know, these pixel skins have
allowed
a
to say
wide
that?
range
Yeah,
of
of course.
inspirations of old video games.
I'm
and
old, so I
and
say
the
Tron, but
Modern
like-
interpretations. I get a Mega Man vibe from some of them, you know.
Are we allowed to
I
say
I
Mega
really
Man?
like how we've
And
been
Tron?
able to
Are we
kind
allowed
of
to do
take
that?
video games and take
Her
this
spear looks sick.
art style and make it a whole skin line.
Oh, the pixels around it looks
the
really
actual
good for the
pixel
target,
marks
yeah.
for the Calder, yeah.
I feel like you play that Discordia skin from last patch in this as well, you know, like the whole
wanna
team of
see it. Look at
pixels
this- look at that.
everywhere.
We're
Spear.
very
That
close to a
spear's
full
badass.
pixel team.
We have Freya as well.
We still
Yeah.
probably need like a Guardian maybe or something
cool.
like that, a pixel tank. But
Ooh, who
we have a
knows?
lot of
wanna
pixel
joust, you
pixels.
have enough.
Kabrak
For Joust, there's enough.
True, yeah. For Joust, there's enough.
Well, there's the ice field for you as well. That looks really cool.
Pixel Field.
Okay.
Okay.
It's still ice, though.
Strong
You
visual.
still slide on those
Yeah,
pixels.
exactly. You're
Right.
definitely still sliding.
Oh, no,
Pixels
bye
are slippery.
there.
That's just game dev 101. And people
Oh,
know
sorry.
that. Oh, nice.
Oh, that's so pretty.
I like the 3D cubes.
Yeah.
I think a really good job.
Time to go ham. Okay.
Yeah. Was done on Calder in his ethereal state when he's actually returned back. I think they did a really good job on the transparent version of it.
Yeah, seeing the difference between it going in and out is great.
right there.
Mm-hmm.
It's really clearly defined of whether Calder is active or not.
Yeah, the
It's
hologram
good.
version makes more sense with this skin
Yeah.
almost than it
You're
does
right.
than the normal Calder.
better
It's
than
supposed to
a
be
lot
kind of
of
like
the other
spiritual
skins that
elemental,
we've
but
seen.
like the hologram fits so well on
My
this theme. I
opinion.
love it.
I also love
best skin I've
the
seen so
toenails.
far
They're all
today.
pink.
Calders?
Yes.
Oh, I see that. His little pink feetsies.
Oh, they do.
Little
Oh, so
feetsies.
cute.
Let's have a listen to the voice pack. Then this voice pack is Amber Lee Connors, who did the voice for this one.
Attack middle lane. Defend. Defend the Titan. Kay approves of you. That was so cool. Woohoo! I'm pretty cool. Man, at least give me a challenge.
I don't know.
Show us what you got, Twinkle
I have a
Toes.
hard time with the voice packs in
Oh,
this
we're
game.
supposed to fight
I feel
you?
like a lot of the voice packs just sound like all the other. I don't know if it's
Man,
because they have
the
too
quality
many
of your
voice
character
packs or
sucks.
what, but they all
You're
sound
coming
like
up with
each
a
other.
better resolution.
Like I don't
Your
know.
mom is so fat, there isn't enough memory to load her into the game.
Yikes!
We're back in the 90s again, are we? Okay. And the laugh too. Was it Calder joining in the laugh as well? Is that what I just heard?
Calder has some animations when you do certain emotes.
There. Yeah.
Yeah.
See, I hear sounds. Okay, then that's it for the Scardy skin. But moving on, it's Oni Chernobog. Next up, that mask looks amazing.
The whole model, I think, is just
I believe
fantastic.
it's his face.
The skin's pretty.
Is that just his
Traditionally,
Yeah.
an
I
Oni
still don't think it's
mask
as good as the
can be
space
worn
skin,
by
but it's
someone,
cool.
but he's an actual Oni.
He's an Oni.
So he's not wearing a mask.
So
he
he
is
just
a
took his
demon.
Demon, yeah,
That's
exactly,
fair.
an Oni demon.
Yeah, but this skin turned out really well. It's
Look
got
at
some
that.
cool,
Oh my
really
goodness.
cool
Oh my
detail,
gosh.
like really specific detail. Especially, I love the holes in his wings.
Right?
Yes, and the
see
coloring
through
on
it.
the wings.
Like,
All the extra detail on the model is just
wow.
fantastic.
It's pretty. What a pretty demon.
It's actually
Yeah.
pretty scary if that's coming at you.
oh yeah,
Exactly.
he's supposed to be a nightmare, right? Right, Clumsy?
Exactly. He's a living nightmare.
Oh wow.
Oh, he's
You know,
my
even if
living
we did
nightmare.
Do you
nerf
know
his ulti,
officially has as
it'll
many
still be
skins
okay.
as on with this?
He's been quite strong.
Yeah, what are we doing? We nerfed a god today and released the skin. What's going on? How am I supposed to make my money for Christmas if we're doing that?
Because the balance team is doing a good job.
Like, calm
That's
down
right,
now,
AJ.
right?
I'm sorry, I know that's
whoa.
a radical statement. I'm sorry, I
Whoa,
apologize.
whoa, let's not go too
Thumbs
far.
up.
here.
But
Here's a
let's
little
see some
custom.
attacks here.
Ooh,
Ooh, I like
got
the
the
green.
crystals.
Yeah, so there's a bit of a jade
Yeah.
theme. You can see that worked into his outfit.
You don't really get that kind of a light green color that
My
much. in
man
Smite. I
buffed
really like seeing it
PELE
here.
and then tried to
I
talk
do,
up
I
the
like it, and
balance
it's
team.
complemented by kind of the black. It's got a poison kind of dark, scary
Oh,
feel
that's
to
I
it.
really like
so
that color.
beautiful.
Oh,
Wow.
it changed to purple. Okay, that's cool.
This is like a
Radiant.
warning, wasn't it? Warning, warning. Detonation. That's kind of nice.
Yes, get away from this explodey thing.
Yeah, this may hurt you.
Skin effects look fine.
That's what I
Look
learned
cool.
from the old,
Just,
the
you know,
old
green,
days.
green
You know,
and
if the ball
stuff.
changes color, move.
Yep.
Cool.
Pretty much the best
Get out of
advice.
the
You
red
must be a
spots.
very talented raider.
What do you do? What do you do with that ability? You're either in the wall or you're not in the
Really
wall,
like the
right?
text
To the
Yeah.
walls we go. I like the dash of particles on him as
Yeah.
he moves.
The little green effects.
Yeah,
around,
it's like almost energy, electricity.
Ooh.
And the ultimate as well.
color.
Can we do a longer swoop there, Pon? Come on now. No one's gonna
All the way
hold
back
that
to base he
close.
goes.
I mean, that far. Come
Oh,
on.
actually, we got to see the backing.
Okay.
We got to see
looks
the full
great.
Still
model.
like
Recall
the space
it.
skin better.
Who wants
Use
one
this
of
ability
voice
the way it
pack
was
will sound
intended
like.
on. There we go.
Here's a
Oh,
backflip.
nice.
That's cool. I like the backflip too.
Oh,
You're going to hurt. You're going to die, Pawn. Careful.
And yet, Pon still only has a 51 win % ratio in ranked.
He cheats.
I'm confused with what's
Oh,
happening.
he's going to try to do a full field one.
He's gonna go all the
oh
way.
yeah, he
Okay.
is.
The longest possible dunk in the history of dunks.
This is for the
submit-
world
Oh, you're
championship
gonna
here,
miss.
Pon. Don't
You're
get it
gonna
wrong.
miss.
No.
Land in the
Oh, he
fountain.
got it. He got it. Nice.
Let's submit that to Guinness Book. World record, longest Chernobog dunk.
Let's have a listen to the voice pack that's going to go with this then after Pon's finished swooping through the air.
Attack middle lane. Attack right lane. Gank. Defend the Titan. You shot. How do you fight so
It's a
well
decent
with those
woohoo. I
arms?
can respect that woohoo.
no Kachida. I tell you to run, but with my wings, that would only delay the inevitable. You mess with an Oni, you get the hordes. Knock, knock. Who's there? Oni. Oni who? Only about 3 more breaths before I end your life.
That's a knock-knock joke.
The whole thing.
I believe
Both sides of the knock-knock
did Fish
joke.
work on this one?
I think so.
With Tina?
Yeah,
But
no,
that
he
was
did. He did.
Impressive getting a complete
seen
knock-knock
worse.
joke in Smite.
I've
That
seen
might be
worse.
the first.
I don't know. It's been a lot of years. There's probably a couple hidden away somewhere.
I guess
that's for
so.
sure.
I just don't recall. I've tried before
Now
and
that-
failed.
Yeah.
that's for
I think
sure,
the next skin is
One
the
more
Nem
skin
one.
left to show
which
you
should
then,
actually,
and it's
it
the
looks like an
Revenge
actually
Tech
legit skin.
Nemesis.
Here we go. This
That's
skin
gonna be
looks
available
hype.
here. I love the look
This
of
is what
this
I'm
skin.
talking
I got
about.
a
This is
little
what
bit
I
of a preview
expect
earlier. I'm like, ooh, it's
from a
nice.
Smite skin.
Yeah, this is
Like,
probably
this is
one
the
of my
level
favorites
of
from
cool that
what
I
we're doing
expect.
right now.
Not these
You
average
see it?
old
It's
skins. I want to see a
so
sick
beautiful.
So this is our first like
There we
full
go.
mech skin for a female goddess, which is
Right,
really cool.
that's true.
Oh,
yeah.
is it?
Yeah.
Oh my
We
gosh,
have a lot
look
of,
at
like,
it. Look at those colors.
Futuristic
Oh,
sci-fi
damn.
kind of in betweens, the
Yeah.
cyberpunk like .g, pixel, but the true like full mech. So our artists really did a lot of
sword is
iterations,
cool.
kind of testing to how the that true like robot feel would work on a female.
I love the color
silhouette.
choices
Yes,
too.
the colors are perfect. It's so beautiful.
I actually realized I really want to see the Thor skin, the Thor Force with
Alongside.
On the
Thor,
same team?
like
Yeah.
just together. Obviously, there's going to be 2 assassins, but I think they would just look really awesome with each other.
We've got Zeus and
Hey,
Kraken.
what was that noise?
Okay.
It's like a. It sounds like a pinball machine. That's great. Bing, bing.
It's like a lock-on noise.
It's
like
just locked
target
onto
acquired.
you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Critical damage.
Cool.
Oh,
Hey.
that's
That's a
so
cool
cool.
shield.
Pretty
That was cool.
And
That's
she
a
got
really
buffed.
awesome bubble. You know, in our
Nemesis
effects
got
guys,
buffed
they gotta
as
make
she's
a lot
getting
of
a
bubbles,
skin.
and it can be tough when you make bubbles
And
on
bubbles.
top of bubbles.
All these
That
just-
is
They
a new
almost
hype
fooled
bubble,
me again.
and I am very impressed.
Son of a gun.
There's text in the bottom left of the bubble as well.
Almost
You see
fooled
that?
me again.
Yeah.
It's
Oh,
like a
that's like part
program.
of the effect. Yeah, that's cool.
Wait, is the last line
It's
of
like
smiley
running a
face?
program. No, I think it says end.
End smiley face.
End or bracket, but yeah, smiley
Yeah.
face, yeah.
It's always about smiley faces.
Of course.
Ooh, the ulti.
I
Nice
love
and
that
clear and
debuff
nice
effects
little
with the
detail on top as
geometric
well.
shapes.
I love the shield on the ultimate as well.
That's so cool.
Really cool.
I love how much everything is glowing.
I'll
If it's
take
not
it.
glowing, it's not good. That's
It's
how I look at
it's
it
a
these
Turn it
days.
respectable
up to
skin.
11.
It's a respectable, you know.
Well, let's have a listen to the voice pack that's going to go with this. All these
Animation,
skins are going to
sound
be available
effects.
in the next patch. But now, here's the voice pack.
Attack. Defend middle lane. Gank.
Okay. Works with the theme. Works with the theme.
You're getting a promotion. All right.
Makes sense.
I'm the best.
She's like a
I
literal
have never
robot.
seen such a bunch of lazy good-for-nothings.
Ouch.
Do not test me. It won't end well for you.
Okay.
Killer robots can be used for good. Just trust me, okay?
It's always about the laugh for me. I really like the shadow that I can see on the floor too. I've actually just been staring at that. It's just been taught, and I'm like, wow, those shadows are
That
great.
shout out to our
Okay.
environment art and the new lighting on the new map and everything we've been enjoying all year. It's great.
So I just now and again you just spot and you're
Oh,
like,
nice.
Oh, is this a unique recall or what was that? A taunt?
Oh, she has something. She does.
That is
actually.
so
her
cool.
special. Oh, she had a special.
special.
No one told me that. Show it again.
She has a special.
again.
on
Oh,
the-
is this it again? Oh, it's a special. Oh, yeah.
It's not just on that skin.
Wait for
I mean,
it.
those two things are added. Whatever those things are kind of new.
That is fantastic.
Some stellar balance right there.
Fighting for her friends
Oliver.
as well. But I think that's going to be it then. I think we're all done with the skins this week. All this content will be available for you in the latest patch. Now we're hoping, I believe PTS should hopefully be this weekend.
Yep, still getting it together and doing our final
Okay.
QA checks, so it's not quite done yet, but hopefully soon.
I love
Okay,
that
well, thank
panda,
God the
that
patch
clumsy
comes
is
in. What was it
squishing
from
over there and then
Part
it's
of the
popping
patch.
back up. That
I think
thing
just
is
getting all the tweaking
amazing.
done on the balance.
I want
Got the
whatever
banners for the
that
turn
is.
bug nerfs.
I
We got
gotta
a
make
lot of
sure
good
that
things there.
pillow goes
What
away
about you,
though.
AJ?
The Achilles appearance on the patch is my favorite part.
So Achilles twice, technically. You should have got a nerf or a buff too.
Why
just
is
to
he
rub
like
it. What about
this?
you, Cupcake?
Just being here.
Oh,
Thanks for joining us. Glad to have you here.
oh, she's not
Thanks
going to
for
last
the
long
invite.
with the
With you.
mentality, that's for sure. Like, not on this show.
Yeah, people, everybody watching out there, keep an eye out for Cupcake's name. You'll be seeing her more and more.
You will, you will. With that, though, it's time for us to close the show. That's it for the update show this week. Stay tuned, however, because the Pro League...
All right. So basically, balance-wise, nothing changed. Booma's got a little bit nerfed, which is good. Pele somehow got buffed. Baron got the smallest nerf I've ever seen. And Chernobog got the one thing on his ulti that wasn't OP nerfed. So that's the situation that we're in there.